If there is anything you should consider doing this year, it is to invest your money, and this is easily one of the best ways you can go from being broke to being a multimillionaire within a period of time, depending on whether you have a short or a long investing goal. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't some sort of get rich quick scheme. Investing takes time and consistency to build and compound, and the more risk you're willing to take, the more money you are likely to make. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the investing applications that I have tried, that I have used, that I am using, and the ones I've come across. But please make sure to do your research before using any of these applications. If you're new here, my name is Adesholamie, and more often than not, I talk about how to make money, how to grow your money, and how to invest your money. So if those are the kind of videos you are interested in, make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Also turn on the post notification bell right beside it so you can get notified when I post similar videos related to this one right here. Before I talk about all of these investing applications, let me quickly address one of the most frequent questions I get, which is, what happens to my money if this investing application packs up without any trace? Whenever I get this question, I laugh because it shows that people aren't doing enough research, which is very important if you want to be a successful investor. However, I am going to ease your stress. So here is the thing. If you want to invest in any company, you have to either go through a stockbroker or to the company directly. But thanks to these investing applications, you and I can invest our 1K, 2K, or 5K whenever we have and own a share of the company without necessarily having to visit the company or a stock brokerage firm. So basically, whenever you place an order to buy a share of a company on any of this app, they will be the one buying your shares on your behalf. So they are like the middleman, which is why you pay their commission and processing fee. If you also want to sell your shares, all you have to do is place your order to sell your shares, and they will also be the one to sell it on your behalf. What this means is that if you buy a share of a company today and you decide to sell immediately, you just need to use the buy or sell button and it will be done. You don't need anybody or anyone, and you don't have to worry about anything. However, if you decide to use a stockbroker, which is the traditional way, you will have to communicate with the stockbroker every time you want to sell or buy, and you also have to pay the stockbroker a certain percentage of your investments per annum, which I don't think is a bad idea if you decide to go that route. If you'd like to know some of the licensed stock brokerage firms in Nigeria, please check for the link in the description box. Now to the main question, what happens to my money in case these applications pack up? Now, the first thing is there is no possibility that they will pack up, because at the end of the day, everyone is in the business of making money, and they make the most money from their commission and processing fees. 2, these investing applications are registered under the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, which is a government agency mandated to regulate and develop the Nigerian capital market. What this means is that these investing applications are registered under a licensed stock brokerage firm who are members of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and most of them are under Drive Wealth LLC, who is a member of SIPC. So if for any reason they have to pack up, they will notify their users and tell them ways to take out their money. For example, when Pillow Fund was packing up here in Nigeria, they sent a message across to everyone and even posted it on all their social media platforms that they were packing up. They also told people to withdraw their money within a specific period, and to be honest, everyone was able to do that, and I never for once heard any complaint about them. So basically, nothing is really going to happen to your investment as they are protected and insured. But if you still feel unsafe and unsure, consider going through the traditional means. Now, let's talk about all of these investing applications out there, the ones I have tried, the ones I love, and the ones I came across randomly. But I'm hoping by the end of this video, you will be able to decide on what investing application to use for your investment without worries. In no particular order, the first one is Trove, which I've talked about multiple times on this channel, and I have an entire video dedicated to how to sign up and how to get your details verified, as well as how you can buy and sell on the application, which you can watch via the link in the description box or by clicking the card above. Trove was actually the first investing application I tried when I started my investing journey, and I used it to its fullest potential. On the Trove app, you can invest in US stocks, Nigerian stocks, and ETFs. They also have a fixed deposit option for both Naira and dollars with about 8% interest. However, the problem with Trove is that ever since they rolled out Trove 2.0, which I also talked about on here, the app has become quite hard to navigate, which I believe also affected their registration and verification process. And I sincerely do hope they fix that because a lot of people are complaining. So if you are a complete beginner, it could be a hard nut to crack, but if you do take your time to study it, it will be easy as ABC. Now, if for some reason you are not able to get past the registration process, send them an email or message them on Instagram or just call the number on the screen and they will help you hasten up the process as long as you submit the right document. The second one is Bamboo, which I have also talked about multiple times on this channel. It is the most user-friendly investing applications that I have used, and it was actually the second investing applications I ever tried. And I loved it. I made an entire video on how you can set up fund and invest in Bamboo, and you can check the link in the description box or in the card somewhere here. On Bamboo, you can only invest in US stocks, ETFs, REITs, and real estate, which means you cannot invest in the Nigerian stock market, and I do hope they roll out that option soon. They also have a fixed deposit option for dollars only with 8% interest. So if you want to fix your money for a specific period of time, this could be your best bet. I have talked about Bamboo a lot on this channel, and this is what I mainly use for all my investments, excluding the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It's also very beginner friendly and you won't have any issues with them. And if at all you do, they have an in-app customer support you can always reach out to. If there is one thing you will enjoy using this application, it is their great customer service, fast deposit, fast withdrawal, and a seamless user experience in general. The third one is AfroInvest, which I have also talked about a couple of times on this channel. So check the links if you need more information on that. But basically on AfroInvest, you can only invest in Nigerian stocks, commercial papers, and treasury bills. Although I haven't used it a lot, and that's only because there is no point in using multiple investing applications, especially when they all serve the same purpose. I have tried this out for video references. I partially use it and I love it. So if you've ever tried Trove and couldn't get past the registration process, this is something I will highly recommend. I've never had issues with it. It's user friendly. Deposit and withdrawal are also quite fast and their registration is seamless. One thing to also note is that AfroInvest is a registered licensed stock brokerage firm. So if you're worried that the other applications will pack up, then this should be your best bet. The fourth one is RiseVest, and just like the other three I mentioned, I've also talked about this multiple times on here, and I majorly use this for my real estate investment only. I've been using it since 2021 and I love it. However, the challenge I have with RiseVest is that it doesn't give me control over whatever I'm investing in, and in my opinion they operate like an ETF, although they never categorically stated that. Beside that, it's a great app. I've never had issues with it, and on RiseVest you can invest in both real estate and in US stocks. You can also save your money in dollars without necessarily locking it for a long period, which is a great advantage over Bamboo where you have to lock your money. And on RiseVest, you will get about 8% in interest per annum. Overall, it's a great app and I've never had issues with it. The fifth one is Cheaper Cash, and this is one application I won't ever recommend, be it for investing, regular use, or virtual card purposes. Don't do it. I'm only added this because a couple of you guys have always asked about it, but personally this is a no-no for me, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, they have a very terrible customer service for a financial institution. They only have one generic email address and they will only respond to you when they are bored. The funniest thing is, if you send them a message to this email, they won't respond. The only way to get across to them is by texting them in-app, which is even fine, except you want to get a response after 14 days at the very least, which is terrible for a financial service. Right. To be honest, Cheaper Cash isn't my cup of tea, so I don't want to push it. They also have a really high exchange rate compared to others, and if you happen to get a failed transaction, you will only get refunded between 20 to 30 days. In this age and generation, why? The sixth one is Yocha, which is one of the best investing application in Nigeria at the moment. First impression, I loved it and it seemed like something I would use if I wasn't already using other applications. So this is a great one to try out. Opening an account there is super easy and you can invest in both Nigerian and US stocks. The only thing I've done on Yocha is registration and it looked pretty easy to navigate. So be sure to give it a trial if you don't want to use Trove or Bamboo or AfroInvest. Now, one great feature I love about this app is the fact that they have discussion lounges where you can share your ideas, ask questions, and just discuss with other people. However, they also do not give buy or sell recommendations. So at the end of the day, you still have to do your own research, but I mean, it is worth giving a trial. The seventh one is Piggyvest, and if you are not new to this channel, you will know I have also talked about this app multiple times, and this is hands down one of the best high interest savings accounts we have in Nigeria, which is also one of my favorite savings and investing applications. However, the investing options are limited and they mostly focus on real estate in Naira denomination, which I'm not a fan of, but I do have an entire video on how you can invest in them, which you can also find in the description box. But unlike stocks, they are low risk and you won't make a lot of money. But then again, when it comes to investing, the more risk you're willing to make, the more money you can potentially make. Now, one great feature I love on Piggyvest is the Flex Dollar Savings, which basically allows you to save your money in dollars without necessarily locking it, and you still get about 7% in interest. The eighth one is Chaka, which I recently started using, and on Chaka, you can invest in both Nigerian and US stocks. Like I said, I just recently started using it because someone asked me to, so I really cannot talk about it extensively yet, but don't worry, I will make a full video about it as soon as I do. The ninth one is Optimus by AfroInvest, and on this app, you can invest in US stocks, Naira mutual funds, and dollar mutual funds. They are like a sister company to AfroInvest, so you can trust this one if you do not trust any other application. You can also use their OptiFlex option to get up to 12% when you save your money in Naira and up to 15% when you lock your Naira funds. They also have the option of saving your money in dollar, but the interest rate is rather too low, so I won't recommend. Lastly, we have Cowrywise, and this is one app I have tried and dumped a couple of times. Not because there was an issue, but because I never took my time to go through it properly, which I think I would now have to, at least because of you. On Cowrywise, you can majorly invest in Naira mutual funds and dollar mutual funds, which I want to assume is good, but I won't be able to say much about it until I try it out myself. I've seen good reviews, so I think it's what I try. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about investing with OPay, Fair Money, and all of those, which is even fine as long as you've done your research and they're offering you a great deal. I've personally not tried them out and I won't, so I really can't say for sure how they work and operate, but I do not think they offer the kind of investing options I talk about on their platforms. So yeah, these are all the applications I use, and if there's anyone you think I'm missing out on and would like me to try, let me know in the comments. Remember to save this video so you can always refer to it. If you watch up until this point, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thank you, stay safe, and I'm going to see you in my next one.